Interestingly, the human being has inside of him two things. And human beings inside of us, Allah says, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا, right? He inspired the human being with capability, potential of evil and of good. Our good potential comes from our ruh. Our ruh, and from what the Prophet ﷺ told us in describing the ruh, one time he called it nur. He called it light. And we also know that angels are made of light. So we have an angelic dimension to us in some sense. Some part of it is angelic in nature, wants to obey Allah. When I say angelic, I mean absolutely willing to obey Allah under all circumstances. And that's the ruh. قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. Right? The ruh is from the amr of Allah. The ruh was in complete obedience to Allah. It was in Allah's company before it was put into our mothers. Our own ruh. So it has that, quality of light, which is also given to angels. Then inside of us there's an evil tendency, and of course the Prophet ﷺ describes that the shayateen can run inside our blood. They can literally just run in our blood. Quran talks about the closeness of the shayateen, the invisible dimension. The shayateen, the jinns, they can be around our chest. Right? مِنْ شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ. Yeah, so he goes around the chest of the person and he's there. Allah didn't give him access to the heart, that's His mercy, He says chest. Like fi sudur nas, not fi qulub nas. You open the door to the vault and let him into your heart, that's your problem. But he has a close enough access. He's also an entity inside of us. Inside the qalb we have our ruh. And outside you have this, the access of Iblis, of the access of the shayateen. They're there too, and they have access to make waswasa to us. We have to fight them. So there's this internal, you can call it an internal conflict, a battle happening. You can think there's an outside battle that's going to be described in the skies that happens between the angels and the jinn. And the angels definitely win. They shoot, anti-aircraft, anti-jinn, projectiles at them and they run. And there's this intergalactic battle happening in the skies, and we're going to learn about that. But there's actually a battle happening inside of us, which is also a battle between our angelic side and the shayateen that have access to do waswasa inside of us, right? This is the part of jinns that we should know about. This is the part of, the presence of shayateen and how we're supposed to make sure that we're pure, that we're physically pure, that we don't attract it because they're attracted, the shayateen are attracted to filth, how we're supposed to stay in wudu, how the Prophet ﷺ gives advice to us of how we should purify ourselves before we go to sleep, so we don't see evil dreams and that they don't make waswasa in our dreams and things like that, Those are the kinds of things we really should look out. So we understand how we're supposed to be dealing with this creature. Allah mentions them very little in the Quran, enough so we know that they exist. And more than jinn, Allah warns us about shaitan. More than the jinn. Shaitan is one brand of jinn. He warns us about them. And within shayateen, there are jinn shayateen and there are human shayateen. And the word shaitan, from shatana or shata, it's two origins that are argued. That it could be fa'lan, it could be like a mubalagha, right? And if it's from shatan or shata, either way the meaning is influenced a little bit, it means someone on the one hand who's extremely hopeless and the other extremely enraged. Someone extremely depressed, has no hopes in the mercy of Allah and then does whatever he does. If you have no hopes, like if somebody truly believes, I'm not going to heaven anyway, might as well just do whatever. I'm a lost cause anyway. Then they become a shaitan. Because they have no hope. That's why Allah doesn't allow us to lose hope in His mercy. لا تقنطوا لا ييأسوا إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا الظالمون. And لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Don't lose hope in the mercy of Allah. And the other meaning of shaitan is someone who's overly enraged. Overly enraged. And so people that are they live a life of rage and anger and hate, that's also a shaitan. Someone who becomes just indulged in that completely. And that just becomes their life. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla protect us from the waswasa of shayateen.